Hello and welcome to Game Week 15 predictions of the Premier League. Very exciting times to be a football fan. World Cup draw just happened. I'm so excited for that. But this is a Premier League video, so let's focus on that. Last week I got 4 points, taking me to a total of 72 points. This week, first game, we're going to kick off with Villa versus Arsenal. Arguably the most important game of the week. Villa midweek faced Brighton, where they did win 4-3, I believe it was at the end. Great performance from them after conceding twice, and somehow they found it in their hearts to come back and score 4 goals away from home. And 2 of those goals came from Watkins. Finally, he starts to score. He's been out of form since the start of the season, so it's good to see him back on the score sheet. And that is now 6 games in a row that Villa win. As for Arsenal, cruise control for them. Easy game against Brentford. There was a lot of rotation as well, so they managed that nicely. And then Marino with the goal and an assist. He has been pretty underrated for them. Somehow, Saka is the least important attacker for Arsenal at the moment in terms of the front three. Marino's more important. Trossard was more important. So that is a good sign for Arsenal. And when these two teams face at Villa Park, either team has won in the last 5 encounters. Arsenal has won 3. Villa has won twice. And currently at home, Villa is pretty decent. They have won 5 of their 7 games, only conceding 5 times. As for Arsenal, when they are away, they have won 4 of their 7 games and only conceded 5 times as well. So I do think this is going to be a low scoring game. Now, I did say that either team does win this fixture, at least for the last 5 times they faced each other, but I see a draw in this one. There's going to be a lot of rotation for Arsenal. Gyökeres is going to come back. I do think he is worse than Marino, even though he is a striker, right? Saka's coming back though, that's a plus. But then Rice is most likely going to be rested. He got injured. Mosquera's also injured. So there's going to be a lot of rotation for Arsenal. As for Villa, not much is changing. Martinez is going to be back in goal, most likely. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this game ends in a 1-1 draw. Next up, we have Everton versus Forest. Everton, they faced Bournemouth midweek, and they got the result, beating them 1-0 through a deflected Jack Grealish goal. So I do think they got a little bit lucky there, but they were overall the better team, and they have improved their away form. That is 2 wins in a row now, and before that they got a draw, so they haven't lost in 3. As for Forest, they had a pretty easy game against Wolves. Smooth sailing for them. Lots of chances wasted for Forest. They do need to work on that, but luckily for them, Igor Jesus gets his first Premier League goal. He's been waiting for that. I mean, we all have. Someone needs to pick up goals if Wood is not available, and well, he got his first one. And when these two teams have faced at Everton's home, the points have been split, and currently Everton at home, Forest away from home, they aren't the best. They're both around mid-table or below mid-table. So I do think it's going to be a tough matchup here, but I think the battle is going to be won here through the midfield. I think Anderson, Gibbs White have been solid. So has Sangare. And Everton, Idris Ganagay is still down. And then Iribunum, I think that's how you say his name. He's also going to be missing this game. I think it's going to be tight, but I'm going to go ahead and say that Forest win here 2-1. Next up, we have Newcastle versus Burnley. Newcastle, they face Spurs, where they squandered way too many chances. They got a draw 2-2, and they're going to be kicking themselves for that one. Solid defense, but when it mattered the most, they conceded twice. But positives here, Voltemade and Bruno, they looked pretty solid for me. As for Burnley, they look pretty good, but they did struggle to break down Crystal. Crystal just sat back after getting the goal, and I do think they were unlucky not to get a goal. Burnley did have some decent chances, but that is now 5 games in a row that they have lost. And when these two teams face in St. James's Park in the last 5 games, Newcastle has won 4. So I do think this will be a pretty easy game from Newcastle. I'm going to go ahead and say that Newcastle win here 2-0. Next up, we have City versus Sunderland. City, once again, making the game harder than it needs to be. Last week it was Leeds, now Fulham. I think it's going to be tough here again. But Foden did get a brace. He got another brace. I think that's 2 back-to-back. So he's in scoring form. Thank you. Finally, someone is scoring other than Haaland. But defensively, we are shocking. We've let in too many goals recently. 3 of their goals were long shots, and no one got in the way. Like, they were just straight in. Like, throw yourself in the way, come on. As for Sunderland, very solid defense for them in their game against Liverpool. Very efficient with their shots as well. I think majority of their shots were on target, and again, another point to get away from home. Now this is gonna be a tough matchup, but City at home have been pretty solid. We have a bunch of goals. City has scored 19 goals at home and have only conceded 6 times. That is a pretty good record. But Sunderland away from home, we know what to expect. They're going to sit back, soak up pressure, and that's what they always do. They did it against Liverpool. I expect it here, and I expect another 5 at the back here. And Sunderland do keep their away games pretty low scoring as well. But I have a feeling that we're going to win this one, but I have a feeling they're going to score as well. So I guess it's not too low scoring here. There's going to be some goals in my opinion. Sunderland are going to keep it close. I'm going to go ahead and say that it ends in a 2-1 win for City. Next up, we have Spurs versus Brentford. Spurs faced Newcastle in midweek, where they did get a draw, a 2-2 draw there. Romero with a heroic brace. I mean, he really grabbed the team and pushed them towards the draw with the second goal. I mean, what is he doing? He's a center back and he does that. I mean, respect it. They did defend majority of the game, which was expected. They defended all right, I guess. They did let in two, but still overall a great point to get again away from home, where their away form continues to be solid. As for Brentford, I mean, they got outplayed by Arsenal. It was a pretty easy game for Arsenal. The strikers couldn't do anything on the break. Thiago got rested, Damsgaard got rested. They're most likely going to be playing this game, and that is another away loss for Brentford. And when these two teams face at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Spurs has won 4 of the last 5 encounters, but Thomas Frank is no longer with Brentford. He's at Spurs. He's facing his former team. So can Thomas Frank defeat his old team? This game sees a team with horrendous home form versus a team with horrendous away form. Again, I feel like that's every Spurs game. But I think because both teams are pretty sloppy when they're away or home for Spurs, it's gonna be a tight game. I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's gonna be tight. I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw. Next up, we have Bournemouth versus Chelsea. Bournemouth played Everton at home and they lost. They had majority of the ball, majority of the possession, but did absolutely nothing with it. The attack non-existent. I don't remember one shot from them. Semenyo, he looks like he came back from injury, right? He looks very rusty. They did deserve to lose that game, and their form continues to plummet. As for Chelsea, I mean, what the hell was that? You lose to Leeds, but you perform the best against the best team in the world, arguably right now, in Arsenal. Make it make sense. I said 3-1 Chelsea. It was the completely other way. Esteban, again, another horrendous performance, getting hooked at halftime once again. Back-to-back games now. Andre Santos, he has a good game, has a bad game, has a good game. It's very flip-flop with him. Tosin, my God. I mean, the whole back line was awful. And then again, Delap, João Pedro doing absolutely nothing, just being an extra body up there. But James should be back for this game. I think he's back. Palmer should be starting this game. Neto should start this one. These are crucial players, and Fofana. These are crucial players for Chelsea. I do think that's going to push them over Bournemouth. And then considering Chelsea's away form is pretty solid, one of the best in the league, except for that Leeds game we just saw. Also, Bournemouth are missing a couple players. I think Tyler Adams went down or is injured. I could be missing this game. I do think Chelsea's going to win this one. Please be right. And I'm going to go for another 3-1 win for Chelsea. Hopefully it doesn't bite me again. But yeah, 3-1 win for Chelsea. Next up, we have Leeds versus Liverpool. Leeds, they faced Chelsea, like I said, and beat them 3-1. They have a new formation. Looks like they're running 2 strikers now. They had Calvert-Lewin and Nemecha. They did that a little bit against us, and they got 2 goals off of it. And they did it to Chelsea and got 3 goals on them. So I do think they're going to be running with this formation now. Goodmanson, MVP in my opinion. I think he was man of the match. He was great against Chelsea on that left side. But that is 2 good performances now back-to-back against top teams, City and Chelsea. And now they face another notable team in Liverpool. As for Liverpool, they are also trying out a new system, sort of without Salah, right? And on the field, it also looks like a wing-back system, where Wirtz again looked good. I think he was their best player in that game as well against Sunderland, but still very nervy from these guys. I mean, they just don't look confident in themselves. Very tough matchup. Leeds at home isn't the best. They're around mid-table in terms of form, and then Liverpool away also around mid-table. Most likely rotations for both teams, like every other team really. But it's predicted that both Calvert-Lewin and Mecha aren't going to be playing. I mean, I don't know why. I think at least one of them should be playing. But there's also going to be rotation for Liverpool. Ekitike most likely is going to start instead of Isak, which is a plus. But Wirtz is most likely going to miss out, or at least it's predicted. Both teams are going to be missing some crucial players. So I do think it's going to be very balanced. Leeds has been picking it up, right? Liverpool still quite shaky. I'm going to go ahead and say that this ends in a draw. A 1-1 draw. Next up, we have Brighton versus West Ham. Brighton, they faced Aston Villa, where they did lose. I noticed that they were pressing a lot in the game, which brought a lot of their players out of position, and I think Villa exposed that, especially in that second goal, just a ball over the top. And they did look tired, like towards halftime, and they conceded twice towards halftime. They did have a 2-goal lead, but then they conceded 4 times at home. I mean, I said a 2-0 win for Brighton. They ended up losing 4-3. I mean, midweek was so random. but that is now their first loss at home. As for West Ham, they really didn't do anything against United, just defended majority of the game. Wan-Bissaka and Magasa were the better players in my opinion, especially Wan-Bissaka. He was trying to prove something, but now they slip into 18th place. Like I said, Brighton, they've only lost once, and that was against Villa. I don't think West Ham is going to get anything in this game. They just don't have goal scorers. Brighton is a solid team. We saw that. We've been seeing that. I think they're going to get back on track here and go ahead and win 2-0. Next up is Fulham versus Crystal. Fulham, they went to battle against us 4-5, or losing 4-5, which must suck. You score 4 goals, but you still lose. That has to suck. Long shot galore for them. 3 of their goals were from long shots. They took advantage of us not pushing out, right, getting in front of the shot. Chukwueze getting a brace. I've been bigging him up the whole season. I mean, he should start. They played very well in that second half, getting 3 of those goals in the second half. As for Crystal, not the best of games from them, or not the best of performances, but they still get the win. They got the goal and then sat back. They said, all right, try to break us. Very efficient with their shots. I think every single one of their shots was on target, but defensively they had a lot on their hands, and I do think the defense won them the game. Now, when these two teams face at the Craven Cottage, Crystal do pick up points. In the last 6 times they've encountered, they have won or drawn. They haven't lost. But I think Fulham has something for us. Fulham, I saw them. I didn't rate them not too long ago, but now I do. They've had some great games, especially at home. And it's also tough in saying that Fulham's going to win here, because Crystal do keep their goals or their games away from home low scoring. But Fulham in their last 5 games have scored twice on average, so they do get goals. Very tough matchup here, but I'm gonna say that Fulham win 2-1. And then the last game of the game week, we have Wolves versus United. United once again closing off the week. Wolves against Forest created absolutely nothing. That was their worst game so far under Rob Edwards. I was expecting a result, right? Them to try, right? They're at home against Forest, who's also around near the bottom of the table, but that was their worst game so far. Only 1 chance came in, and it should have been a goal. Honestly, it should have been a goal, but Arias missed it. Then there's United, who control majority of their game against West Ham, but one mess up on a corner throws everything out the window. Also, another negative for United, their attack isn't good. Cunha has not been good since the start of the season. I don't want to hear it. He hasn't had a good game. And Mbeumo has slowed down tremendously. Xerxes was their best player. The fact that Dalot had to get the goal to get a goal, right, to get the lead, says something about the attack. And when these two teams face at the Molineux, United has won 4 of their last 5 encounters. And we know Wolves is terrible at home, and United is pretty bang average away from home. I mean, this should be a United win, but you can sort of just sense that something's up. It can't happen. But I'm going to go ahead and say United focus up, and they get their win. Because away from home, United is actually better, or has been better, than at home. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for United. Those are my predictions for this game week. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, and peace.